Hello there. Today I will be discussing alleles and pedigrees, basically how you inherit different alleles or can, and I will be using dragons, obviously. My example is Saphira and her family. And so her father's blue, her mother isn't. She's blue, her mate is not. She has a son who is blue and a daughter that is not. And so basically, if it is X-linked, an X-linked trait, which basically means it is a sex-linked trait, Y is the male, or is the male sex chromosome, X is the female. If you are male, you are XY. If you are female, you are XX. If it is X-linked dominant, then you will have more will be blue, as you can see. And if it is recessive, the males are actually really interesting because they only have one X chromosome. They only need to inherit one of the either dominant or recessive allele, and they will be that color. Whereas with the females, they have to either inherit, as you see with Saphira, the both recessive genes linked either for the X-linked or autosomal to be that color. Whereas like her mother, as you can see, her mother, when it's a dominant, when her mother's not blue and the blue is the recessive trait, is heterozygous because she has to pass on the blue allele to Saphira. And then when you go by, if it is recessive, when it's X-linked, again, or sorry, when it is dominant and it is X-linked, again, the male only needs one of those to be that color, as you can see throughout the chart. But the female also only needs one to be that color, as you can see by Saphira, and she can either have, in this instance, it would have been a little b, but she could have a big B, but she would have had to have a little b. If we did not know her mother's coloration, she could have had another big B, but because we know her mother's coloration, it would have to be a little b. And because and then it cannot be a Y-linked trait either, because it is not, well, Saphira is not a male, so she would not have been able to inherit this color if it was a Y-linked trait, because that is linked to the male chromosome, and because she's not a male, she would not have inherited that chromosome from her father and would not be blue. So we know it is not a Y-linked trait, but it can be any other X-linked, dominant or recessive, autosomal dominant or recessive as well. And then if you were wondering for my sources, this is all of them right here, basically. So yeah, and thank you so much, and have a lovely day.